I truly believed that the carnivore diet could fix everything. And the truth is, after 3 years, it didn't. I want to share with you exactly what stopped me from seeing the results I expected and what I did to finally start moving forward. If you're a woman over 50 and you're not seeing results on carnivore, stick around. This is for you. I can remember a number of years ago, as I sat in the doctor's office with my then 7-year-old daughter. She had been complaining about stomach aches and really bad joint pain. So I brought her in to get some tests done, and we were sitting there waiting for the results. I can remember the doctor coming in and saying, well, we can't find anything wrong with her, and the stomach issues are probably just nerves. So here, I'm going to write a prescription for Motrin and Zantac. Needless to say, I didn't take the prescription. What I did do is I went home and I started doing my own research. We tweaked some things in her diet, and we found out she had a gluten sensitivity. That experience flipped a switch for me. I finally saw food not just as something to eat and quench our hunger, but as something that could hurt us or could heal us. After that day, we didn't just clean up our pantry. We actually started making plans to buy our own homestead, and that's exactly what we did. It was a dream that we had, and we were able to make it come true. And while we were learning goats and gardens and fences, I kept learning about food and wellness. At that point, I dug into keto, not just for myself, but the whole family. And it helped in a lot of ways. But even with all of that, weight loss didn't happen for me. Still, I stayed with it because it was healthier, my family liked it, and honestly, I felt good. But then, 2 years in, I was at the kitchen table with a bottle of ibuprofen, massaging my wrists that were aching so badly after milking the goats. And I remember thinking, either we need to buy a milk machine or I'm probably going to wind up with surgery on my wrists. The thing was, it didn't stop there. If I had spent a full day doing things like building a chicken coop or fixing fences, my knees ached so much that even 800 milligrams of ibuprofen wouldn't dull the pain enough to let me sleep. So finally I broke down and I went to the doctor. I was hoping he would just say I had overextended myself. But what he said was, you have arthritis and it's just starting. And I'm sure he said other things, but I didn't hear him. Because after he said that, in my mind, all I could see was the life that we just spent the last 2 years building could potentially be out of reach for me soon because of this diagnosis. So just as I had with my daughter, I went back to researching, and in desperation, I turned to Carnivore. It really took me by surprise how fast it worked. Within just a couple of weeks, I had no more arthritis pain. My brain fog had lifted, and I lost 20 of the 45 pounds that I had wanted to lose anyway. I looked at David and said, this is it. This is what I've been searching for. But then, after 2.5 years of eating perfectly clean, I was still waking every night at 2 a.m. Those last 25 pounds wouldn't budge. I added fat, I tried fasting, I cut dairy, I even started working out, and nothing worked. People said, well, that's just what happens when you get older. I didn't believe that. I knew something was off. I mean, who hasn't seen all the testimonials of people with weight just dropping off of them and everything healed? But let me say this clearly. I still 100% believe carnivore is the best way to strip out the noise and actually see what's going on in your body. When you remove the food drama, your body can speak. If something deeper is wrong, carnivore shows you where to look next. But here's a lie I believed for far too long, that if I just ate meat, everything would fix itself. And it didn't. Not for me, and maybe not for you either. I switched tactics. I found a functional medicine practitioner and started digging in. Because I'd been so consistent on carnivore, my labs gave us a crystal clear picture, just clean data. So here's what we found in plain English. First, my cortisol pattern was flipped. Cortisol should be high in the morning to wake you up and low at night so you can rest. Mine was opposite. Flat, tired, foggy, already hungry in the morning. And at night, I was wired with my brain racing at 2 a.m. Years of waking up at 3:30 for my job had broken my circadian rhythm. And when your rhythm's off, your nervous system stays in stress mode. Stress mode blocks fat burning and wrecks your sleep no matter how perfect your diet is. So even on clean carnivore, my body was stuck in survival mode. And in survival mode, you store fat. Then we found a whole nother layer. I likely have an MTHFR gene mutation. Did you know actually 44% of the population has it? Your body uses folate, a B vitamin, to detox, make hormones, and keep your metabolism humming. But with this gene variation, you can't convert folate into the form you need. So even eating clean, my body couldn't take out the trash, so to speak. And toxins just hung around and slowed everything down, especially my metabolism. So between flipped cortisol and a sluggish detox, my body never got the signal it was safe to drop weight or to let me sleep through the night. I was so flippin' excited to finally have figured out what was going on with my body. But knowing is only half the problem. Now it had to be fixed. So here's what I did. Number one, I needed to fix my work schedule. Instead of waking at 3:30, I now get up at 5:30. And when I do, I make sure to go outside barefoot to ground with a cup of coffee in one hand and my Bible in the other. And honestly, this has now become my favorite part of the day. By doing this, it lets my brain know that this is now daytime. The other thing I've done is I've added supplements to my diet. One is called the 5-MTHF, which just means methylated folate. So instead of my body trying to convert it, it just gets folate in a ready-to-use form. This helps my body detox, my hormones to stay stable, and just helps everything to run so much more smoothly. Secondly, we added a supplement called Neuromedulla. And the Neuromedulla helps regulate my cortisol. And it is especially helpful to quiet my brain at night when I'm trying to sleep, or if I wake at 2 in the morning trying to figure out the next farm project. It helps me to shut it down and fall back asleep. That has not happened in so long. The last habit I really had to force myself into was learning how to relax. I know it sounds crazy, but I had to set a time during the day where I was doing no more work. It was just time to sit and relax. I also don't push through fatigue anymore like I used to. So, what are the results of my changes? Well, my weight is dropping again. I wake up feeling rested, not this wired exhaustion that I've been operating on. I can sleep 8 hours, maybe only waking one time if I have to, and my mood is a lot steadier, and David loves that. My energy seems to be very consistent with no more midday crashes, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like my body is working with me and that I'm actually getting the full effects of the carnivore diet. If you are strict carnivore and still stuck, stop believing the lie that diet alone will fix everything. It can't, unless your sleep, your stress load, and your unique genetics work with it. Carnivore definitely clears the path, but you've still got to walk it, so dig deeper. And if you're ready to start, grab my free 7-day carnivore starter kit below. Don't wait. The longer you delay healing, the more damage gets done in your body. The link's below, and I'll see you in the next one.